What it do is your guy Four Eyes, the advocate of prescription eyewear, Ultra Beast, Reckless Eyeballing, and you are watching JackThriller.com.
If you're trying to find a website where it's going down all night, motherfucker, Jack Thriller. Thriller. Jack Thriller. Thriller. Motherfucking Jack Thriller. Thriller. Nigga Jack Thriller. Thriller.com.
I'm over here with my man Four Eyes. Yo, Mr. 16 or better. Mr. Every day, every morning. Brand new bars for your ass.
Man.
Come on, man. Like, now, tell me, where does it start for you?
I mean, God is good, God is great, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we pretty much just go from there. And folks be like every day, when you do something consistently enough and then like take a break, people don't notice it because you did such a good job being consistent. So like I don't even post every day like that no more, but it's still the feeling. Everybody still it's the essence of I'll be every day. Because I do have like 180 something verses in the stratosphere right now, in the cloud. I mean, on the YouTube. I mean, over the past couple of years, I just been constantly posting. But
Gramming.
But then I do my reruns, man. I might as well do it. You know, the highlights, you gotta rerun them things. So I get the luxury of reposting some verses, which gives me time to craft some more magnificence and then get that ready to put up there. So God is great, man. That's where it started.
That's what's up, man. Like you on another level when it comes to being a bossmith and whatnot. Who are some of the dopest people that you looked up to and you're like, that I got to get on that level. I have to get on that level.
Man,
who was the sensei?
I'm gonna leave a bunch of names off. Just like off top, I was influenced by everything. Anybody that's great. It's not just MCs. Like comedians got bars. You know, actors. You know, got bars. So I take something from everywhere. But you know, like Wu-Tang as a collection, KRS-One with his storytelling ability and, you know, information as far as him educating, putting people up on things that they might not have been aware of. I mean, but then Cannabis from an MC, when Cannabis was on the scene, the way he was delivering the bars with the punchlines, like that is what a MC is what you look for. Like when you get the fast break, you know, you 360, you windmill, you do something ridiculous. And Cannabis had that impact, like hitting when he first came out, and that like so I put him up there. I mean, who else, man? It's so many. I mean, folks done. I mean, I'm gonna shout out Immortal Technique just on some more educational delivery, but still bars, just to be able to craft and paint your picture, but use, you know, reference points, metaphors, similes, whatever it may be, to tell your story. Just to wow somebody with the ability to put this word and this word together and make that picture. Like it's a plethora of folks, and I'm influenced by a lot of mugs. I cuss away a lot of motherfuckers. I mean, you know, Redman's, Dallas Effects. I'm old school hip hop, golden era, classic, traditional, late '80s, early '90s. Like that's where my heart is. So I'm always gonna shout out something from around there. But anything that was great, they pretty much put me on my path and made me who I am today.
You remember telling your mama you was gonna be a rapper?
It's not really. It kind of happened by default. Like I was hanging out with other smart kids that was also rapping. So then it
blended right in, and then she didn't know none of the lessons.
It made it okay. It was like, oh, okay. Well, if the smart kids is rapping and you rapping with them, then it can't be too bad. But I couldn't. Yeah.
Was hip hop allowed in your house?
Oh yeah, like a mofo. It was just my parents always hated when they heard a sample that they knew, and it's like, oh, that's what they did with James Brown. Oh, they gonna take. That's what they did to Stevie. That ain't nothing but grandma's hand. Like my mom would always just
take some away from you.
Tell me where the
your joy.
But my mama and like they the ones that rented B Street. I ain't had no Blockbuster card. I couldn't get Crush Groove. I couldn't get Breaking. So my parents brought those movies into the crib. So my parents is hip hop. They're the ones that really put me on the path. And then, you know, I had older sisters. So, you know, they had, you know, BDP, My Philosophy CD or tape at the time. You know, and, you know, Run DMC was in Crush Groove. And I mean, you know, all the commercial stuff. But then as you got older, I just got, you know, that's when you start branching out because now your friends got this, they listening to this. Or, you know, Yeah, Ghetto Boys and Two Live Crew. I was like, all right, like, oh, I can't play that in the house. But to be able to absorb all that everywhere from the neighborhood, that's also something to help make a player what he is today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hip hop was definitely allowed in my house. It was just, see, I was in a group first when I started rapping, so like I said, it was more advantageous to me because it was like, oh, he not doing no troublemaker knucklehead shit. Because being from Chicago, a lot of folks in gangs doing ridiculousness. So for the fact that I wasn't doing that, it was a blessing.
What kept you out of the streets? Because you could have easily went down that path. It seems that way outside looking in when you're looking at social media, TV, and so on and whatnot.
Yes.
But it sounds like you came from a very loving home. But does that play a part in it, or do you definitely had your chance to go left if you wanted to?
Well, it's a combination of apparently, like everything I'm doing in this life is a continuation from my previous existence because the soul is eternal. So I'm here this time, as we all are here, to figure out what we didn't figure out the last time we was here, or to grow on, the efforts and works that we done made. So this time, I got more hugs from my mama, and I watched a lot of Care Bears, but for the most part, it was real easy to say, oh, them niggas getting fucked up. I don't want to get fucked up. I'm not going to do that. So I just kind of applied that science or logic to just everything I did. And it kept me out of a lot of stupid shit. Or, things that just wasn't beneficial to me because I did have two loving parents in the house that was working hard to make sure that I had a decent and proper upbringing.
Did. What did your mom and dad do for a living?
My parents were niggas. I'll stand on that. I was raised by niggas. They did the best they could, as niggas do, but they was niggas nonetheless. My mom was a secretary for most of her life, and my dad, problem-solving engineer.
You know how to troubleshoot very well.
Very well, yeah.
These are two very dignified jobs. Why do you refer to them as niggas?
Oh, just because the grand scheme of things, just conversations I had with a bill collector at 8 years old and what I'm supposed to say and not supposed to say. Or, just various trips to stores where it's like, no, don't take that hat off your head, just leave that on, see if anybody notices it when you walk out. It's like I was like raised by niggas who, they did the best they could. Like they knew that, because I was born on the west side of Chicago, but they knew I need not to be raised on the west side of Chicago. So that's when we moved to Oak Park, which is the immediate next suburb further west from Chicago. And, it's more recreational centers, parks, better schooling, scholastic, baseball, just everything that would provide for a great upbringing for a child to, especially when they're working all the time. So, the neighborhood raises the children, the village raises the child when the parents is working or doing X, Y, and Z. So they knew enough to put me in a good neighborhood so the environment would help cultivate, a player's subconscious mind. And thank God for that. That's why I do love my parents for that tremendously. But like, man, ain't no health insurance. I'm pretty sure, like, I have a cut on my leg that should have got stitches, but ain't with no stitches. We're gonna put some gauze pads on that and you just gonna heal up. I dislodged this knuckle. We're not gonna go get the cash and soak that shit in warm water. I mean, lunch card, no college education. I ain't had to go to church. Like, I wasn't forced to even go to college. That was a decision I had to make if I wanted to, but they wouldn't let me go to the army. My pops was dead against that shit. You cannot go to the army, but had no other planning for me other than food, clothing, and shelter once I graduated from high school. So,
did he go to the army?
Yeah, he was in the service.
Oh man, so did he serve in any war?
Oh, he was in Vietnam.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so
got it. He didn't like what he didn't get when he returned.
Yeah, he didn't want me a part of it. Like, he didn't want me to have no parts of that.
Did you respect that?
And see, the odd thing about being a child is you don't respect your parents' decisions until you actually grow and learn and see how they saved your assholes looking out, or all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears they put into providing a living for a nigga. Mm. So at the time, I was like, man, that's fucked up. But like, hindsight 2020, thank you, Shaka Zulu. Hindsight 2020, oh yeah, my dad was a G, and I really appreciate him for. I mean, I still, wonder it ain't like women. It's up in the air. It's a lot of folks that go off to the service and still, it's good education in it, trade skills, just application of, obedience, strength, just all the inner building and structure that comes with it. So it's like, it's always gonna be, a fine line when you weighing the scales out. But ultimately, I am thankful that my father said, no, don't go do that. But, I'm always inquisitive or curious as to how something else would have played out if it would have went this way. This person wouldn't have got in a fight with him. He wouldn't have, got his ACL messed up. Just those type of what ifs. But those are other parallel dimensions that ain't, that ain't for right now.
100%. I can totally dig it. Do you remember the time when you said, "Hey man, this is how I'm gonna live my life, rapping. I'm gonna pay my bills this way"? You remember that moment?
Yes. I had a pretty good job. I was out of high school. I might have been 18, 19 years old. I said 19, 20. And I had got a check from the job, and I shit you not, man. It was $734, and that was for 2 weeks of working, and I was 19, 20 years old. So I feel good. Now at the same time, my dad, who had been struggling trying to find a job because he, was an older gentleman and he had cancer, so then it was like a disability going into a new job that folks didn't really want to deal with. So it was hard for him to find a job, but he found a job and he had got paid. He got his week's check. He got paid every week. That nigga check said $734, and I'm sitting there, and he knew it wasn't, what he was used to making, but in my mind, me seeing it at 19, 20, knowing he was 50 or whatever, that's when I was like, okay, I'm pretty much just finna do whatever it is I want to do. And worst case scenario, I could be a 50-year-old making $734 if none of my dreams or none of this other shit work out. So then that's what really led me to moving to Atlanta, for real, straight up. I was just gonna put it all on the line and just let it be what it is from there.
You was a real conscious, you was in more conscious rap and whatnot. Why Atlanta as opposed to New York or LA?
Oh, because I was raised by niggas. I had never been nowhere in my life. The only time I've been anywhere, the first time I left the state was we went to Indiana to play the lottery, because if you won the lottery in Indiana, you got the money in one lump sum. And my parents was really into that shit. So we drove, my first out-of-state trip was to go to Indiana to play lottery. And then we went, around the mall, and then we drove ass back to Chicago. Second time I got on the plane to come down here because I grew up with who y'all know is Ludacris, Christopher Bridges. We went to elementary school, junior high school, and high school before he moved to Atlanta. But we also started a rap group together, and in that process, my second out-of-state trip, first time on the plane, was to come to Atlanta because Chris would visit his father every summer. So, Crisscross was super hot, Another Bad Creation, just the whole Atlanta scene at the time. So us as a trio, teenage, freshmen of high school, 13, we like, yeah, let's go to Atlanta. My father already down there, I gotta go anyway, so let's go down there and explore. So, we went to Atlanta, walk around in our, matching outfits with the rhinestones and shit on them, and, hope to be discovered just like anybody did at the time.
Okay.
But that, me seeing Atlanta, and being raised by niggas, it was like, oh man, it was beautiful down here. It was so many black people like doing well and thriving, because the west side of Chicago, like early 90s, that shit was bad. Like it hadn't really recovered from the riots when they burned shit up after Martin Luther King got killed. So like certain streets, there's just mad burnt out buildings, mad just empty lots, and that shit was like that for a long time, if not still right now. But coming to Atlanta and seeing, like, I didn't know I was in the hood when I was in Atlanta. Like, that's how beautiful it was in comparison to what I seen and what I grew up next to. Not saying Oak Park wasn't bad, but, grandma and everybody still stayed on the south side in Chicago, so hood is the hood. But Atlanta was just such a beautiful place for me at 13. And, I mean, they had a teen club, was it True Flavors or something off Old National? And, like, it was just so much from a child's perspective. I was like, yo, if I ever could make a decision about my life that meant shit, I would probably move down here. So then, you know, that's freshman year, sophomore year, we get to, you know, Chris moved to Atlanta, but you know, we still contact, and he turned into Chris Lover Lover. He's like, yeah, man, Cash Money doing shit. I'm hosting these parties, man. We doing things. My birthday coming up. Yeah, man, I'm renting a Hummer. I'm like, yo, man, that sounds really exciting. I would like to come down and visit for some of that. So I came down, and just on my times, just visiting once again, even as an older teenager, it was like, yo, I need to move down here, man. Chicago ain't got shit that I like is doing it for me. And then worst case scenario, he had a primetime slot on the radio down there, and it was a hip hop station, and it was a major hip hop station. We didn't have no major hip hop stations in Chicago. It was just like college radio or AM radio or something like that. So in my mind, I'm knowing if I make a song, I can at least get it to my guy, and he will play it on the radio station. So that was the basis of my thinking, to where it's like, nigga, leave and go somewhere where it's more beneficial or productive for what you really want to do with your life. And I'm in Atlanta still.
Dig, man. So let's go ahead and fast forward up to how that practice that you do, where you write new bars every day. How does that happen?
All right, so look, it all started with me just needing to promote. Shout out to Head Crack and you, George. See, I was doing this thing called the Live Comedy Mixtape, where it's like a rap version of the Chappelle Show on stage to music. And we was doing really good and promoting shows, but I was also still working as a manager at this pizza shop, so, you know, still balancing everything. But long story short, I needed a way to promote my birthday party that I was having in conjunction with the Live Comedy Mixtape. So I was like, all right, what do you do really good? I roll blunts, I have conversations about God, I eat vagina, and I rap really fucking good. So I chose to rap, and I was like, you know what, let's make a verse. And I did a 7-day campaign, and I posted a verse just on IG just to promote the party. And it went really well, to the point where I was getting a lot of folks say, man, you should keep doing this, yo, man, you should, you know, keep doing this, don't stop, like, keep going. And I was like, you know what, I probably could keep going. So then I just prepped all of my verses, like, knowing I could do it ahead of time. I'll be like, this be the Tuesday verse, this be the Wednesday verse, this be the Thursday verse, and then that's when all the outfits start getting stupid, because I'm like, all right, if I know what the rap says, like, what the fuck I'm gonna be wearing on all these days? All right, well, shit, I'm talking about this, so I can put this hat on. I'm talking about this, I can wear this scarf. I'm talking about this, I can put the shower cap on. And then I just kind of just religiously would coordinate different headgear or some type of ridiculous ensemble in conjunction with my verses. And I just did that until I wore myself out. And then at the same time, I built up enough of a following to where it was like, all right, now I need to create a product and put something out there that makes all of this make sense. To where it's like, I'm not just gonna keep rapping on Instagram or whatever. So now I was like, you know what, let me get back and put a project together. And ever since then, I've been, shout out Senior Chaos, we've been doing the Ultra Beats demonstrations, putting out projects. We done put out 6 projects as a collective in the past 2 years, I say. I got a solo album, he got a solo album, we got 3 group albums. I got another album about to come out, and then Chaos working on another album, and then, you know, we got our group thing musically that we doing. So the goal was to just use one platform to propel and project me into the direction to keep doing the music, but now create the content that has residual income.
And so you want a total of like almost 10 albums?
That's nigger exaggeration, but yeah, we can say 10 albums, yeah. I mean, cause shout out to DJ Freezebox out in Dallas. Shout out to my brother, number 2 in Chicago. We as an agency also help them bring out their projects, and I'm also featured on everything, but even just helping with beat selection, and just marketing and promotion. Like, we do all that because we've done it for ourselves, so it's now let's do it for our loved ones or provide a service for anyone who's really interested in taking advantage of it.
Could you ever see yourself working at a record label, like on some Def Jam type shit?
Hell yeah.
Yeah? You can see yourself scouting artists and A&R projects and executive producing? Did you ever wanted to do some L.A. Reid type shit?
I most certainly would, Jack. I most certainly would, and I would almost pretty much say that I have all this time because I've been doing it for myself. And then once you do something good for yourself, that's really when folks come aboard and really recruit you for your services. So I'm just now using this opportunity to come out of my shell. You always tell me to get out of my thinking, so to and expose myself. I'm here to prostitute myself a lot more than I have in the past because I understand the value in it now.
I did. What was the block before that when you quote unquote, let's say, getting in your own way? What do you think it would stop you from prostituting earlier for you, pimping you?
Man, I don't know if it's just because I'm a Virgo or because of the way I was raised by a Leo and a Sagittarius. Both them fire signs now. That's two fires raised in the earth. And earth, you heat up the earth too much, that shit turn to clay. So,
that was deep.
no.
He's so neo soul.
And I speak for myself. Niggas we want to save hip hop too much. I'll be trying to save hip hop too much. And like nobody's paying me to do the shit, or it's like, I might get hey man, you saving the game, we appreciate it, but ultimately, that shit done, that done put more monkeys in my wrenches than a lot of shit, because I'm trying to just, I guess it's also called integrity. It's a certain thing, a way that I believe shit should be, so then I kind of always want to be that way. But then also, being young and not knowing better, I'm always attribute that. A lot of shit that got fucked up, it was my fault. And when you're young, you think it's somebody else's fault. But when you grow up and actually mature, you realize, like, nah, that was your fault. Like, my fault. Like, niggas need to, it ain't even it. It's about saying something or not saying something that you should have or should not have said, but more aligned with thinking more long term. Everybody want to fight for little shit right now. And it's like, man, but this is a long road. This is a long journey to where when you got long term goals, a lot of the short term goals, a little intermediate stuff is just, it could be dismissed. But when you don't know no better, you want to fight for all them little ass things. And it's like, nah, man, see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. And it took me a minute as for eyes to even be able to see the bigger picture. So
100%.
I say that.
Man, so hey, like, what's 4 Eyes 2022? What's the plan, bro?
Oh man, it's a plethora of your digs in the works. 2021 was so magnificent that 2022 can only be a reflection of it.
Right.
As we are building and reestablishing ourselves and diversifying our portfolio, if you will. I'm already, like I said, I got another solo project that I'm a little EP I'm a drop or put out. But then, I've been talking with other great producers. Shout out to KLC, Beats by the Pound. He in town right now. We looking to get together, put a 4 Eyes KLC EP together. I've been building with DJ Toomp on the regular. We talking about, he done shot me some beats, looking to do something like that. And then, we got the Reckless Eyeball and me, you, and Legendary Baller, that LB cat. So, we like the new trio, it's like a super sexy version of the new Digital Underground out here, even if you will, or some LMAFO mixed with some Tribe Called Tang in it. We 2 Live Crew. We NWA. We 3-6 Mafia. Like we all that rolled into one.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of character in these tracks and a lot of energy in this music. So, so to have my hand in a little bit of everything, but still be able to focus and put out that good stuff. That's what we on for 2022. And staying healthy, drinking more water, making sure our immune system is built up, learning how to make conscious decisions for ourselves and be independent thinkers. That's the move for 2022.
I love it, man. Hey, this is the first of many interviews over here because me and you already locked in and loaded, bro. I'm so excited about the next move. For right now, is there anything you want to say to JackThriller.com before we get out of here?
Oh man, once again, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Everybody has the ability to achieve all their wildest dreams or greatest desires. All it just takes is a little attention And with a little attention, I mean attention. Put focus and attention on what you really, really want and make that the goal, and then put God in that, and you can't lose. Nobody's can lose. And we all winning. It takes a village. God is great. Look both ways before you cross the street. And eat your vitamins, say your prayers. All the good things, they'll make you a better person so we could be better than we were yesterday, because all we got to do is be good today.
Well, like I always say, you just can't say you're real or something. You got to be, man. 4 eyes, man. Yo, Reckless Eyeballing coming soon. Do I have something in mind? Y'all go to commercial. And don't kiss them hoes in the mouth unless you got to. I'll see you next time.
About to go Jack Thriller on these niggas. All I need's a fucking red jacket with some zippers.
Hey, yo, what's up? This your boy 50 Cent, right? A motherfucking nigga Jack Thriller coming to a city near you.